Hi guys, Shimmy here. This is my Workspace challenge put out by Brian over at Godfield's Model Car Garage. As you can see, this is where I do all my work. This is where all the magic happens. So we've got all our tools here in the box. Keep them all handy. Files, cutting blades, saws, sanding sticks, files, facet files, markers for making the seam lines a bit more visible. I use this here for measuring out the millimeters in the paint if and when I need to mix up different types of paint. For a wee drill here, it's always handy for me drilling out the lights for the bezels and so forth. There's a wee drill bit in it. There's a couple of smaller ones there. Then we have our 3D printer. I'm still getting used to this. I got this last year. Started last year, end of last year, one or the other. A magnifying lamp, which is always a must. It's posable in all directions, what have you. 3 camera setups at the minute. The one here and the phone I'm using at the minute. There's a mobile one there. And then we've got the bigger one up the top, which is posable too. I can move it out, turn it around and so forth, and adjust the camera any angle I want for overhead shots. Then we've got our big main work light, which is a must for this particular builds that I do for the lights and so forth, because I need as much light as possible. You know, the wee magnifying light comes in really handy. Just the stacks and the tapes, some heat shrink, tools, scissors, rulers, clamps, and then our off and on switches for all the bits and bobs here I need to turn off at night. The 2 computers, the far one is the newer one, got a few months ago, and this is the older one. I use this mainly for the software for the printer, the 3D printer. I haven't set it up yet on the other computer. Printer whiz. I got this printer last year. This is really handy for doing tassels and so forth and other custom tassels. Got a few printers before, but this one really is the best one I've seen so far, I've used so far. And then storage for the models it's built. There's most of them where I need wired in. There's a few wired in. I still haven't got down to wire them into the board yet. You've seen that. It's going down to my mother tomorrow for the cancer awareness build. That's done and dusted. I showed that during the week. Spray booth. We've got a compressor. It's wired in. The extractor goes out into the yard. It's a bit dirty at the minute, but what do you expect from the spray booth? I had to make this one my own. Reason being, it's the only one that can hold the rigs. And you need to paint them. I can paint them all in one go. Again, more models down below here. There are links to the military models that there was going to be the 135 scale diorama I was going to plan to build. I just haven't got around to it just yet. That's going to be big. The biggest, actually the second biggest one I've done so far. Again, more kits, they're all left out because they're coming up shortly on bills. Charlie Mac for the B-17 and Jackham for the Hauser, and then there's a few other builds there but done after Christmas. Paintways, a multitude of different types of paints. We've got our Tamiya, our thinners, Createx. I haven't ever used this yet, but I got them a few months ago, so actually they're all transparent, so they are, so I don't know why I bought them for, but they are anyhow. As I say, Tamiya, selection of Tamiya. Flare with the back, zero paints, Alclad and so forth. Craft paints, they're really handy too. So they are some really nice colours and they're really cheap. All different types. Deco art, and I think they're all deco art actually. There might be 3 different ones. Artisti, or whatever the hell that's called. Again, and then down below we've got our gloves for mixing the paint and so forth, cotton buds, pastels, some wiring in there for USBs, drills and stuff that needs charging when I need to. The wee machine, or not a machine, wee flocking machine, I used that there recently on the diorama for the cancer awareness build. Again, that's always handy for doing the bits and pieces. All electrical goods in here for the likes of wiring, transistors, motors, resistors, other different pieces of that I need to do things, SMDs, solder and so forth. I think it's just, no, that's the two new guns that I got there a while back. I haven't used them yet. Another wee camera goes onto your head and your recap or something. A couple of books here from AK Interactive, which are very good. Likes for weather and so forth. Painting figures of all different sizes and scales. More stuff in here. I think those are for likes of war builds I haven't finished yet. Just left them in the road. Again, more stuff like this Elmer's glue is very good for doing glass work. Mod Podge, I use that as well. Magnifying glasses. Some clear parts here, I left them out of the road for spare parts. Got wee bits and pieces in here, needles and drill bits and so forth. They're always handy to have. This one here is the resistors, the wiring for the SMDs, solder, more magnifying glasses, more lights on a roller, a lot of ore stuff in here, nails, so forth, and a lot of ore different bits and pieces all underneath, lights and so forth. The rest of them are just all basically all junk. I still have to sort through what's there, but it's junk that I know what I have and it's going to be used at some stage sometime we are. Again, some magazines, Perfects, so forth, pedestals, old bills, that there was all direct diorama I done there a while back. Some flags for the vehicles, and then those wee stick-on things, they're actually really handy for likes of if you want to do them for headlights and so forth. Peel and stick. Odds and ends in here, more LEDs and so forth, boxing, all different colours. Dremel. Don't know what's in this one. More tools, there's just files and stuff in that there I rarely use. More paints. Stirring sticks, vise is always handy when doing the bigger models. Polishing tools for the ore Dremel. There's an ore box underneath. That's handy too to have for polishing and cutting and so forth. We set of scales, always handy if you need to measure out a certain weight for the likes of a nose cone for a plane. That measures it out pretty well. Move on to our industrial paints, so forth. Tins of spray cans, paints I've made up over the years. I've still used them. Paint brushes, it's typical of what you would use in painting and decorating, and sorry, not painting and decorating, painting and detail and so forth. Our bigger printer, which I haven't set up right, or I haven't set up the software for it. The printer is working. I just haven't used it just as yet, but I will get around to it after the new year. Be able to build a lot bigger on this rather than the smaller 8-inch plate that I have on the 3D printer. So this is a PLA printer. Again, as you can see, my workbench is big enough for what I need it for. And then I've got all our shop carts. Storage. The rest of the models are like all the cars, planes, boats, helicopters, 1/200 scale bigger ships in there, like the aircraft carriers, JFK, 1/350 scale, the Intrepid 1/350 scale, and what's the other one? The Nimitz 1/350 scale, the Iowa from Trumpeter 1/200 scale, which is about 4 feet. Again, they've been all way down the line. Them have more SMDs here. What do you call it? I'm lost now for words. I forgot what you call these now. Tamers. Couldn't get that out there. just program for wee timers for the lights and so forth. LEDs, I think they flash red and blue. Yeah, or what, 3mm I think they are. Yeah, 3mm. Yeah, I've got the red 3mm, and then the wee motors they use them for like the props and so forth. So I got you to take a phone call. As I was saying, wee motors for the propellers and stuff like that on the planes and other different models that needs them, and I've decided to build them that way. Basically all SMDs, all in them drawers and so forth, resistors and timers and you name it. Basically the same it's in all these here, knives, pliers and so forth. Different timers, there's different voltages and what have you. So and then my last store here, little store bits and bobs. Not bits and bobs. This will hold all the trucks, the 124 scale trucks. As the one on 14 scale RC Scania. I've never got around to building yet. That thing is a massive. Then I have all our 350 scale ships or planes, warplanes and so forth up the top there. So more tools. So there you go guys, that's the end of the tour, so to speak. This is my latest build now, it's happening at the minute, Eddie Stobart. I've built the trailer and all, but the canvas part of it actually, it's the wrong part that was on this. It's a curtain side that was on that. So I built it anyhow, and that's the one that's over in the spray booth. So I'll paint this a colour to match in with this, and just put my own decals on it, some livery or some sort. And we'll build the curtain side for the proper Scania over in the corner I showed you a second ago. Okay guys, that's that. What more can I say? But this is what all happens at the dining table in the kitchen. Oh, sorry, I forgot to mention, just different tips from Tamiya. Other brands, they'll do the same thing. Some reflective tips are for the emergency vehicles. They actually, when the light hits them a certain way, they reflect. Our soldering station. And then our soldering iron just behind the printer here. So there you go, heat gun for melting stuff off soldered motherboards and so forth. I did show you the camera, so there you go. Polishing compounds. Basically anybody, any modeler would have in their arsenal, so to speak. Right guys, that's me. So hope this cured your enthusiasm, Brian, of my work area. Anyway guys, thanks for watching. Speak to you all later. Have a good weekend. Shimmy signing off. Bye.